Welcome to ACC Postgame Live here on the ACC Digital Network. Tonight on the ACC Network, you saw North Carolina State go into Chapel Hill and beat the Tar Heels 58-46. I'm Jeff Shell, along with Julius Hodge, who cannot stop smiling, and Jason Capel. Julius, let's start with you, man. I know you loved seeing what happened tonight for the Pack tonight.
I definitely enjoy watching the game. The Pack being able to come out here in a very tough environment, come out with a win, especially with B.J. Anya playing the way he did in the interior defensively, being able to clog up the paint, get 6 blocks, 5 rebounds. I mean, I love the way the Pack is looking right now.
Absolutely. I thought NC State came out and physically threw the first punch. They withstood the run in the second half, but I thought they dominated at the point of attack on the ball with Cat Barber as well as Trevor Lacey, and their big guys did the job building walls in the interior, making it tough on Carolina's interior players to score.
Over the next several minutes, we will talk to Mark Gottfried. He will join us right here on the set. We'll also hear from Roy Williams, who will discuss a very disappointing loss for the Tar Heels tonight. In fact, the first time Roy Williams has lost to the Pack here in the Dean Smith Center. Julius, what did you feel like the key was for the Pack, not only to build up that lead early in the second half, but then to withstand the Tar Heel run?
I felt like the key was, in the beginning of the game, was going to be able to play great interior defense. But when you also have Cat Barber, Ralston Turner, Trevor Lacey, all having 14, 15 points and being able to score offensively, and Marcus Page, not being able to amass double digits, I thought that was definitely key for the Pack.
Yeah, you talked about down low, what the difference they made down low. They could handle UNC size, and B.J. Anya in particular, 6 blocks tonight.
Yeah, BJ just was in there, blocking shots, able to finish. That was Leonard Freeman right there. But BJ's coming up with a dunk, and that's what our guards need to do. They need to get in the lane, drop it off to our bigs, and let them finish, and that's how they could be productive.
So NC State builds a 16-point lead early in the second half, and that was a shock, but then the Tar Heels got it going, Jason.
Well, they did start the second half. I thought they played faster. In the first half, I thought they labored down the court and had to set up the half-court offense. The Tar Heels have to get out in transition. They have to get out and run, and that's predicated on getting the ball out quickly on make or miss, and their bigs and their wings sprinting down the lane. When they're able to do that, they create easy opportunities. Marcus Page got into the lane, drew that second defender for their bigs to get open shots. NC State is big and strong up front. You have to make those big guys run. You got to put them on the move. The Heels were able to do that in the second half. That's why they were able to go on that 12-0 run.
They go on the 12-0 run. They actually get within 2 points at one point. And you're thinking between the run and seeing that NC State has been up and down this year, and then playing in this place with the crowd getting fired up, I really thought, okay, this is UNC's game. But somehow, Julius, NC State handled it tonight.
Yeah, I think the guards play with poise. Cat Barber, especially the point guard, he was out there handling the pressure. Joel Berry was trying to get under his skin. Marcus Page, Britt, but he was able to control it, run the offense, still get good shots. And, he got a little out of whack a little bit there late in the second half. But then, Trevor Lacey came back in the game, got us right back on the ship, and they got a big win.
Trevor Lacey didn't shoot particularly well, 4 of 13 from the field. But Cat Barber has made such a difference. I think the last 6 games he's averaging about 17 points a game.
Well, his growth and maturation for the Wolfpack is what has catapulted them now to a team that I believe is strongly in the NCAA tournament field. He's shooting the ball at a high clip, but he's controlling the team, as Julia said, playing with great poise, and he's playing under control. He's getting guys involved and understanding when he needs to attack. And then I talked about the point of attack defensively. He is the point of attack, doing a great job pressuring the basketball.
You hit on the NCAA tournament. I talked to Trevor about the resume as well. Julius, the Pack now has wins over Duke, Carolina, and Louisville last week as well. I think that's a resume right there.
Definitely. Then when you can add in there the way we played Virginia at their place, it was a tie game with 6 minutes left. We were up 18 points versus Notre Dame, and we happened to let them come back and get that win. But it's good right now, Robbie. I love it. Let's go Pack.
Let's talk about Trevor Lacey a little bit, because I asked him one thing he was really taking advantage of situations when he was the bigger man. J.P. Tokido was on him for long stretches, but when he knew he had the size advantage, he was taking control.
Well, it was almost like Tokido was the only guy he really respected as a defender. He's so big, he's so strong, you have to respect the fact that he can shoot it from 35 feet, and then you couple the fact that he can go off the bounce and use his body to get in the lane, and then he's an underrated passer. I thought, as Julia said, he showed great poise leading his team. When Cat Barber got a little erratic there for a while, I thought Trevor Lacey settled the team, and he's showing why he is one one of the best players in the country that not a lot of people talk about.
And also to mention that he's #1 in the country in one-on-one isolations.
Yep.
So when he has the ball and one guy's on him, he's going to score the ball, and he's the best in the nation at that.
There's some next-level stats and analysis you get only on the ACC.com right there with Julius Hodge and Jason Cable. All right, it sounds like I'm hearing that we're getting got right now. Here comes Coach right now who could not look
smooth.
Oh, yeah. He's got a smile on his face.
Oh, man.
All right. This is the first time you've gotten to enjoy this one in this place.
Well, doesn't happen a whole lot of times. I mean, for a lot of teams, not just us, but I'm really proud of
coverage on our social media platforms.
There's been yet another police pursuit that has ended in a car crash. LAPD officers tried to pull over the suspect for reckless driving in South LA. He crashed into two cars at the intersection of Imperial Highway and Main Street. The man was taken into custody after he was treated. 7 people were injured, including 4 children. One of the victims as young as a month old. They were taken to the hospital for treatment. Their injuries range from minor to serious. And tonight, the coroner's report is out on a man who died after a physical confrontation with police last August in South LA. Cell phone video shows Omar Abrego, a father of 3, in a struggle with police. Police say the 37-year-old Abrego had been driving erratically, narrowly missing a pedestrian. Abrego got out of his car just feet from his home when police say he tried to flee. The coroner's report says a cause of death cannot be determined because Abrego was under the influence of cocaine when he became caught up in a physical confrontation with officers. Demonstrators protesting the death of Ezell Ford also demanded justice for Abrego.
An arrest has been made in a hit-and-run crash involving a party bus. The LA County sheriffs say the suspect, Tommy Gutierrez of City Terrace, was booked on suspicion of felony hit-and-run and driving on a suspended license. Investigators believe Gutierrez was driving the bus when it hit and dragged a man early Saturday morning in Norwalk and then kept going. That man, Efren Bergen, remains hospitalized but is no longer in a medically induced coma. 2 Southern California men have been sentenced to 25 years in prison for conspiring to help Al-Qaeda. Omar Kabir of Pomona and Ralph De Leon of Ontario plan to train overseas with Al-Qaeda and the Taliban so they could target the U.S. military and its allies. 2 other men arrested in the plot previously pleaded guilty and cooperated with prosecutors.
3 missing schoolgirls from London are believed to have entered Syria to join ISIS. The girls, 2 are 15, 1 is 16, vanished 1 week ago. Police say they flew to Turkey and from there have made their way to Syria, where they will likely join the terrorist group. Meanwhile, ISIS militants have abducted at least 70 Christians, many of them women and children, in pre-dawn raids on villages in northeastern Syria. Thousands more fled to safer areas as word of the raids spread. And in Iraq tonight, a surprising new face on the front lines. American Christians taking up the battle against ISIS, including a young veteran from Michigan. And he's not the only one. ABC's Terry Moran reports from Iraq.
Look on that road. You'll see ISIS flags lined all up and down that road as well.
He is 28 years old, Detroit, born and bred, an Army veteran, still wearing his uniform. But this time, he's not fighting with the U.S. Armed Forces. He came back to Iraq on his own to take the fight to ISIS in the name of Christ.
But why you? Why not me? Jesus says, you know, what you do unto the least of them, you do unto me. And I take that very seriously. I take that to heart.
Brett, he asked that we don't use his last name to protect his family, is serving on the front lines, fighting alongside the local militia in the abandoned Christian village of Bakofa near Mosul, where we met him.
So the next towns over are full of ISIS?
Yes, and you'll see...
How far?
Less than 2 kilometers.
So about a mile.
He took us up to the roof where they keep watch on ISIS, looking out over the no man's land.
They're out there.
That's our motivation every day.
You want to get those flags down?
They're coming down.
So far from Detroit, from home, but Brett makes no apology for becoming what he calls a soldier of Christ.
I've had a lot of people refer to me as the American Crusader. I'm not here for violence. I'm here for peace. But sometimes that peace comes at the end of a sword, which today is the end of a barrel.
And he knows he's a terrorist target.
You have a price on your head.
There's a lot of people who don't want me here and don't want me alive right now, so...
He has returned to the valley of death, but this soldier, this true believer, fears no evil.
Brett is setting up a unit of Christian soldiers. We met several others who are already here, and he says he's heard from hundreds of American veterans who are just like him, motivated by their faith, outraged by ISIS atrocities, and eager to get back in the fight. Terry Moran, ABC News, Erbil, Iraq.
A gunman stormed a restaurant in the Czech Republic, killing 8 people before shooting and killing himself. It's the worst shooting of its kind in the country's history. It happened in a small town in the east of the country. Police say a local man, about 60 years old, called a TV station before the attack, complaining that the police were not taking care of his problems and saying he would take things into his own hands. So far, no word on a specific motive.
George Zimmerman will not face federal charges in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman fatally shot the unarmed 17-year-old during a confrontation in 2012. A jury later acquitted him of second-degree murder. The U.S. Justice Department investigated the case as a possible civil rights violation, but did not find sufficient evidence that the shooting was motivated by racial hostility. Martin's family issued a statement, quote, "Although we are disappointed in these findings, it has steeled our resolve to continue traveling the country with the message of the Trayvon Martin Foundation, which is dedicated to protecting our youth and empowering those who demand justice and peace." Martin's family issued a statement.
They issued a statement saying, quote, "Although we are disappointed in these findings, it has steeled our resolve to continue traveling the country with the message of Trayvon Martin and the foundation," which David just read. And that, again, is dedicated to protecting and empowering youth and demanding justice and peace. That's what they said in that statement. As promised, President Obama today vetoed a bill that would have approved construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. This is just the third veto of his presidency. Republicans in Congress could try to override it, but at this point it appears they do not have the votes. In any case, this doesn't mean the project is dead. The president has said he is still weighing the pipeline's benefits against potential harm to the environment.
Incredible video, a home leveled by a massive explosion, the blast sending a fireball into the sky, injuring more than a dozen people. What triggered this dangerous explosion?
Plus, an unidentified flying object lights up the Utah sky. Now NASA is clearing up this high-flying mystery.
And a dramatic rescue caught on camera as people scramble to pull a pilot from his downed plane. See what happened next.
Beautiful weather today, and it looks like the next chance of rain is not too far away in that 7-day forecast. I'll tell you about it coming up in a few minutes.
All right, a high-profile case going on right here. This is a live picture from a courtroom in Stephenville, Texas, where a verdict is expected at any moment. This is a so-called American Sniper trial. The jury has reached a verdict. We'll bring it to you live when we get it.
Terrifying moments in a New Jersey house as it goes up in flames. The natural gas explosion was captured on police dash cam video. As ABC's Tom Yamas reports, 15 people were injured, 2 of them critically.
Watch what happens around 10:10 this morning when a police cruiser heading to the scene of a natural gas leak stops just before the explosion. Watch this dash cam video again. A house blown clear off its foundation.
It happened so quickly at with the explosion. We had debris all around us. This coming from nowhere.
The home was under renovation and empty at the time, but 15 people were injured, 2 of them now in critical condition. On this freezing cold day, 75 to 100 homes evacuated out of caution. It's a fear best respected. Silent, deadly gas leaks have caused epic destruction across the country recently. Harlem, an apartment blown sky high last March, killing 8 and wounding dozens more. In Indianapolis in 2012, 2 neighbors living next door to this house that blew up were killed. And tonight, a neighborhood in the Jersey Shore on edge, fearful for homes of their own.
The explosion could be felt a mile away. Just behind me, police and utility crews working through the night as people slowly return to their neighborhood. Tom Yamas, ABC News, Stafford Township, New Jersey.
The NTSB is looking into the cause of a small plane crash in Spokane, Washington.
Okay, sir, hang in there. We need an airway. Keep fighting, sir. Keep fighting. I'll get it.
This is body cam video from a Washington State police officer as first responders pull the pilot away from the burning wreckage and begin treating him. The fire crews were able to douse the smoking engine and no one else was hurt. That pilot was flying solo at the time. He was hospitalized in critical condition.
A UFO sighting in the skies over Utah and parts of 8 other western states and Canada, but it didn't stay unidentified for long. NASA says the bright lights came from a Chinese rocket burning up the atmosphere. The rocket carried a satellite into orbit back in December. It was about 90 miles above Utah when it began to break apart.
Well, skiers and snowboarders are celebrating this week's stormy weather. Lots of new snow in the local high country.
Yeah, Mountain High Ski Resort had to shut down last week because it didn't have enough snow. Today they were back in business. Eyewitness News reporter Darsha Phillips was up in Wrightwood today to check out the action.
A good day on the slopes beats any day at work or school. You don't have school today?
Well, we do, but my mom let me skip. Oh, I'm painting the slopes and I've got, skiing fever.
A lot of people playing hooky today, but with conditions like these, can you blame them?
Woo! Powder for days. It's awesome.
Basically, the conditions are beautiful. The trees are covered in snow. I mean, I can't ask for more. The sun's out, clear day, and I just had a face full of powder. Why can't I not complain? I mean, come on, let's go.
This is what it looks like on the slopes.
One more.
After being closed for more than a week, Mountain High Ski Resort reopened today to an eager crowd, getting almost 2 feet of snow.
Oh, it's wonderful. We actually have some fluff. I haven't skied in fluff in 2 years.
The conditions were also great for making snow. Machines were working early this morning. And the Mountain High mascot was also out having some fun with me in the snow. Most of the winter has been high and dry, so this perfect snow day couldn't have come at a better time.
Oh, I was checking the snow report like 2 days before. I was like, I'm going, so.
All right, quickly, sorry to interrupt. We want to take you to that courtroom in Stephenville, Texas for the verdict in the American Sniper trial, and we just heard him say guilty. Let's listen in.
The verdict is signed by Ms. Stafford as foreperson of the jury. You may be seated at this time. You wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, sir.
All right. The request to have the jury polled has been made at this time. What I will do at this point is individually we'll start the first juror, and I will ask you the same question of each and every juror. Is this a unanimous verdict of the jury? Let's answer out loud. Juror number 2, is this a unanimous verdict? Juror number 3, is this a unanimous verdict? Yes. Juror number 4?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 5?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 6?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 7?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 8?
Yes.
Juror number 9?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 10?
Yes.
Juror number 11?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 12?
Yes, sir.
All right, this completes your service as jurors in this matter, and I will receive and accept your verdict in this matter. I will hand it to the
All right, you just heard Eddie Ray Routh. He's 27-year-old, convicted of murdering American sniper Chris Kyle and his friend Chad Littlefield at a gun range in 2013. He admitted to killing them, but his family and his defense was that he suffers from psychotic episodes. Apparently, the jury did not buy that defense. They convicted him of murder. We'll have much more on the story coming up in Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock.
All right, and let's switch gears now and go to the weather with Jonathan Novak. A little rain in the forecast, perhaps, huh?
Maybe more than we just saw.
Wow.
Which is great to hear, but it's a little ways off. But it's looking good for another round of it, which we could use a few more around here. Shower activity and some snow and all the good stuff that we've had over the last Sunday and Monday. Today, though, it was beautiful. Hey, this is just a kind of a comparison. Check this out. So this is yesterday, all right? As we look at our cameras up in the mountains of Big Bear, and we transitioned today. They were making snow. I don't know, I just gotta love that. Had it yesterday, now you're sort of back at it this afternoon, but beautiful sight there. We had some gusty conditions, and at the coast, as a result of some of those winds today, got this picture from Richard Doolin. What a shot! I mean, that is unreal. Guys, this is at White's Point, and you see, it looks like a person, right? Do you guys see that? Lita, you see that? Okay, she's not impressed. I'm impressed, Richard. Are you impressed? She is, okay. LAX56, and there is that wind of 12 miles an hour, so a bit breezy tonight. And tomorrow will be pretty much the same. It's kind of a ditto day tomorrow as today. Very similar as what we're expecting. Temperatures at Big Bear, 28 at the moment, 67 Palm Springs. We've got 60s up and down the coast. It is anywhere from 5 to almost 15 degrees warmer right now than it was this time last night. So big changes as high pressure has built in as that area of low pressure that brought us the rain on Sunday, brought us the rain on Monday, pulls away. There it is, the bottom right of your screen. High pressure is starting to make its place here over the California coast. And in between, we see those winds coming down, gusty north-northwest wind. And that'll be pretty much the case tomorrow. Very similar day on Wednesday as you saw today. Now, Thursday, things start changing. I'm going to show you all this right here in the future scan. There's the low. We said that's going to be pulling away. Now, this is Wednesday, 5 p.m. Not much going on in terms of any big systems rolling through, but watch what happens on Thursday. First of all, we'll have a disturbance roll through to the east of us. Not going to impact our weather, except maybe bring up some of the winds on Thursday afternoon. Friday, we start seeing the next weather maker form. This trough of low pressure digs way in to the west coast, and this is Saturday now at 4 p.m. By then, it is already making showers and storms, creating wet weather for the central northern portion of the state. And by Sunday, that's going to be bringing us some rain. It looks like the chance is pretty good, about 60%. So for tonight, though, we're keeping it calm and clear and cold. I would say calm, breezy in the canyons, 25. Calm at the coast, 51, and high desert, 30, 47 low desert. Here's the 7-day forecast, though. You'll see things are getting interesting this weekend. LA Metro, Orange County, powered up by AccuWeather tonight, and you will see 60s Saturday and Sunday, a chance of rain 60% Saturday night and Sunday. And then we're going to linger that into Monday for some areas, as you'll see here as we move on into the valleys, i.e. you guys have a wet weekend as well. 63 on Saturday, 62 on Sunday. Next few days are going to be beautiful, though. 75 tomorrow. And a fantastic Thursday for you, too. Beaches are really nice the next few days. We have a chance of rain on Saturday and Sunday. They'll taper off late Sunday. Looks like 59 for a high on Sunday. The mountains, snow level looks pretty low at this point for the weekend. That would mean that you guys are looking at a good shot at some more snow. Next few days, keep in mind, it'll be a little breezy tomorrow, but it'll be very nice and pleasant as far as the temperatures go. In the high desert, even get a few showers in there, too, for this weekend. 60% chance of getting a little wet there on Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures down into the 50s for the weekend. So we got another round. Looks good right now, at least. And we're just going to hope things continue to play out consistently because we need it.
All right, Jonathan. Keep it coming. Bring it.
Okay.
Up next, why California's ban on plastic grocery bags is not yet a done deal.
Plus, a dramatic mass manatee rescue, saving the gentle giants with only hours to spare.
A successful rescue operation in Florida of 19 manatees stuck in a storm drain. This is in a satellite beach. It's not clear why the manatees were in there, but wildlife officials say manatees often seek out warmer water during the winter, which may have led them into the storm drain. Another possibility, manatees are curious animals and may have been just exploring. In any case, once in, they couldn't get out, and it took several hours, a large crew, and heavy equipment to free them. They were all returned to the wild, and grates have now been installed to prevent this from happening again. Poor little guys are really worried out there.
Hard to see.
Yeah.
Well, we're updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30, including the very latest on today's horrific Metrolink crash and derailment that injured more than 24 people.
Plus, if you ever became stuck on the train tracks, what would you do? And we'll get advice from the experts.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
The jury found the defendant Eddie Ray Ralph guilty of the felony offense of capital murder as charged.
Our top story at 7:30, an update on some breaking news, a guilty verdict in the American Sniper trial. I'm David Ono.
I'm Rutabaga Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7:30 p.m. Former Marine Eddie Ralph has been convicted in the deaths of American Sniper author Chris Kyle and Kyle's friend Chad Littlefield at a shooting range. That means an automatic sentence of life in prison. The prosecution wrapped up its case earlier this evening, and the verdict was announced just moments ago.
A 54-year-old truck driver from Arizona has been arrested on felony hit-and-run charges after a Metrolink train crashed into his pickup truck on the tracks in Oxnard. 46 passengers and 3 crew members were on that train when it crashed around 5:40 this morning near 5th Street and Rice Avenue. 28 people were taken to the local hospitals, 4 of them in critical condition. The truck driver was found wandering around a couple of miles away from his vehicle. He was then taken to a hospital and treated before being arrested. Authorities say the truck made a premature right turn, then got stuck on the tracks. Amtrak will resume limited train service between Los Angeles and San Luis Obispo tomorrow.
Today's crash raises many questions. Among them, what should a truck driver do if he or she gets stuck on the tracks? Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan has some answers.
My hood is securely attached.
My hood is securely attached.
At United Driving School in Riverside, prospective truck drivers have a lot to think about.
You can't stress safety enough.
And after what happened in Oxnard this morning, some people are probably wondering just what they should do if their vehicle gets stuck on the tracks. We asked one of the truck driving students here for the answer.
If my rig would get stuck, I would call the police right away, let them know, hey, can they stop this train from coming?
Driving instructors say that's right. You see, at every railroad crossing, you'll find an equipment box like this one with the crossing location and a phone number on it. If you get stuck, call that number immediately.
That lets them know exactly what crossing you're at, and they can get a hold of the train and tell them what to do.
Truck driving students are also taught to never shift gears with a manual transmission while crossing the tracks. That's to prevent you from accidentally stalling and getting stuck.
You could get it, put it in neutral, go to the double clutch and put it into the next gear and not be able to get it in because you've let the RPMs drop too much.
Above all else, you should always remember the potential danger.
You can't beat a train. There's just no beating a train. And it could be your life, it could be somebody else's life as well.
So if you do find yourself stranded on the tracks at a railroad crossing, as much as you might want to get out and push your car away, the experts say you should not do that. You should call 911, or it might be even better if you can find one of these boxes with this phone number on it. That's the phone number to the railroad, and then give them this location. That way they can get on the radio and tell all trains heading to this area to stop. In Riverside, Rob McMillan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And stay with Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of the Metrolink crash in Oxnard. You can also get all the latest developments on ABC7.com or by following ABC7 on Facebook and Twitter, and download the free ABC7 app.
A stabbing in Sherman Oaks took the life of a 17-year-old boy, but the victim's family and friends are rallying behind the suspect, saying police have the wrong people. Jacob Kaufman's family say that they are outraged their son's best friends, DeAndre Charles and P.J. Wartek, are charged with his murder. Today, friends and family marched outside the Van Nuys courthouse to protest. Police also have a third suspect in custody and have not disclosed who actually stabbed the victim. They all entered not guilty pleas at their arraignment.
P.J. Wartek and DeAndre Charles are my son's friends. I've known these boys for years. They've been to my house. They're best friends. There's no way either one of these boys could have hurt Jake.
Well, the DA's office issued this statement. Quote, the defendants are being charged under a theory of provocative act murder. Under existing law, when a defendant's criminal act set into motion a situation where the natural and probable consequences are that a third party would reasonably respond with deadly force, the defendant is held responsible for the death.
The search is on for 4 men wanted in a home invasion robbery in Encino. It happened on the 4700 block of White Oak Avenue. Authorities say the men pried open a rear door, handcuffed the couple inside, and stole cash and jewelry. Eyewitness News reporter Giovanna Lara has the details.
It was the housekeeper of this $4 million mansion that called 911 while the crime was underway.
They came in through the side of the residence, they broke the back door, and they entered.
The housekeeper declined to talk on camera, but told me she was in her bedroom when she heard the suspects break into the house. They handcuffed her employers, an elderly couple, and ransacked the 8,000-square-foot home looking for cash and jewelry. By the time police arrived, the suspects were gone.
There are 4 people that committed this robbery. There was 1 person that was seen in a vehicle, and there were 3 that were running into the vehicle.
Investigators are now sifting through video from security cameras in the neighborhood to identify those suspects.
There's some great video up and down the street, and that's what we're looking at.
Meantime, police are trying to figure out whether the elderly couple who rent the home was targeted or whether the suspects hit the home because it's owned by former NBA player Earl Watson.
Nobody was injured, and thank God for that.
Police say the suspects drove off in a newer four-door vehicle, possibly a Mercedes or BMW. They're asking anyone with information to call the LAPD at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. In Encino, Giovanna Lotta, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
An emotional day in court for the victim's mother in the Aaron Hernandez trial. Hernandez is charged with the murder of Odin Lloyd. Lloyd's mother, Ursula Ward, wept as a state trooper handled the bloody shirt Lloyd was wearing at the time he was shot and pointed out the bullet holes. Also, when photos were shown of Lloyd's body in the morgue, Ward repeatedly mouthed the words, "My baby, my baby." The judge has previously warned Mrs. Ward about shows of emotion in court.
There's been a cut in the state's gasoline excise tax. The tax board approved a 6-cent a gallon cut today. It's all part of a complicated formula that requires an adjustment each year. The lower excise tax goes into effect in July, but you probably won't notice it because of so many other factors that affect gasoline prices. And local gas prices continue to rise. The Auto Club reports today the average in LA County for a gallon of regular is $3.10. That's up 3 cents from yesterday and 62 cents from this time last month. Factors for the increases include last week's explosion of the ExxonMobil refinery in Torrance and the switch to the summer blend of gasoline.
Up next, why singer Taylor Swift is handing over a big check to New York City.
And an Oscar-winning actor visits a local school to talk to kids about what else? Food.
Jonathan Novak here. Beautiful day in Big Bear, enjoying the snow there that fell over the weekend. We got more snow in the forecast. I'll tell you when in the 7 days.
Traffic is back to normal today in Tinseltown thanks to some Hollywood magic. Take a look at this time-lapse video of crews disassembling the Oscars red carpet after the big show Sunday night. Striking crews begin almost immediately once the stars move inside the Dolby Theater and the show starts, taking down the golden Oscar statues and breaking down the bleachers. Of course, they also roll up all the 16,500 square feet of red carpet and store it until next year. And if you missed the Oscar-winning film Whiplash when it was in theaters, now's your chance to see it at home. It's one of the new releases on DVD today, and another Oscar winner is also available starting today.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
Baymax, I didn't know you were still active.
I heard a sound of...
Big Hero 6 won the Best Animated Feature Film on Oscar Sunday.
Well, Taylor Swift is making good on a pledge to New York City's public school system. The singer is handing over the proceeds from a song she wrote about her new adopted hometown. The philanthropic pop star has already given $50,000 to the NYC Department of Education. That's what she's made so far for the single Welcome to New York. And speaking of the Northeast, the wintry cold spell is so bad people can't seem to let it go. Police in South Carolina even arrested Elsa the Ice Queen, accusing her of bringing weather so cold the town fountain was frozen. A photographer snapped pics of the officers taking the Disney character into custody. It was just 34 degrees there today. That's about twice as cold as it usually is this time of year. Last week we told you about police in Kentucky who also issued a mock arrest warrant for Elsa's frosty shenanigans.
An Oscar-winning actor is on a mission to get students in the LA Unified School District to eat breakfast every day. Jeff Bridges visited a Winnetka school along with one of the stars from the Fast and the Furious movies. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Robles has the story.
You've got to be healthy, and school breakfast is the key to that.
It was a special morning for students at Stanley Mosque Elementary School in Winnetka.
Yes! RIPD, you got it!
They got a visit from Academy Award winner Jeff Bridges.
The Giver, right? That's one of my favorite ones.
He and a couple fellow actors dropped in to talk about the importance of eating breakfast. At each and every LA Unified School, that meal is provided on campus after the morning bell. The Oscar winner says the kids love it.
That community spirit of sitting down and having breakfast together, you know, that's a wonderful way to start the day.
School starts so early already that if kids were to get here earlier, that would be almost impossible. So kids are eating in the classroom or with to-go carts right before class, so it becomes really practical and easy.
According to the No Kid Hungry campaign, 1 in 4 kids struggle with hunger here in California, and 2.2 million low-income children are missing out on school breakfast. Together with California food policy advocates, they're asking state lawmakers to expand the program.
If you care about how our schools are performing, if you care about our country's economic competitiveness, then you need to see what happened here.
They believe kids who eat breakfast are less likely to miss class and score 17.5% higher on math tests.
You can't really concentrate in school if you don't have the proper nutrition. You know, we've got so many kids coming to school too hungry to learn.
Reporting in Winnetka, Mark Robles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
That's a nice surprise for them. Well, Jonathan Novak says rain is back in the 7-day. His complete forecast is up next.
Plus, the Dodgers made a lot of moves in the offseason. We're with the new look Dodgers at spring training coming up in sports.
And celebrating LA history, a first-of-its-kind resource for preserving our city's most historic places.
Hello, how are you doing? Hey, guys.
I can't even say with a straight face.
Jonathan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, the prompter is on a timer, so 10 seconds past your timing, you're allowed to time it out and it says back, so we can't do that, sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, just maybe I can get a rap. Maybe I can get a rap cue this time. That's my retort.
Welcome back. Jonathan Novak joining us now. We finally got some of the rain we've been wanting, but it was on Oscar Sunday, unfortunately.
But they've got everything, not only for the red carpet they had it prepped and ready, but the hair. You know, those celebs, they've got everything that they need to keep it just
perfectly
static.
Coiffed.
Yeah, perfectly coiffed. Very good. Unlike my hair, which is just it does what it wants to and then it lets me know later. Yeah, as we look into the weekend, we got another one of those types of storm systems rolling through in the forecast. That's good news. In the meantime, check that out. Isn't that beautiful?
Aw, it's a winter wonderland.
You did it, like it's a puppy. For weather people,
well, it's so nice to see it finally.
It is like but for weather people, that's like it's like that. It's just a fantastic sight to see. Beautiful stuff there. Familiar today, Angeles National Forest. Earlier today, it was 74 in downtown Los Angeles. As we look at the almanac from this afternoon, 69 is our normal high. We are much warmer than it was yesterday, as you can feel if you step outside. It's about 10, 12, 13 degrees warmer in many spots. Downtown it is 64 right now, 65 Santa Clarita. Good evening to you. And Oxnard is 59 and 64 in Ojai. We head over to Wrightwood, where it's 31, and a cold Big Bear at 28, which is nice. You guys are enjoying that snow, which we're going to get some more, it looks like, this weekend. At least it's in the forecast right now. It's been consistently in the forecast. So for the satellite image right here, we've got that area low pressure that we were just talking about, that rain over the weekend. That's pulling away, and as it does, it's making room for high pressure to build in. In between the two, those winds are coming out of the north. Winds around high pressure go clockwise, and around low pressure go counterclockwise, so they come down out of the north-northwest. That's been a bit of a breeze today, and we'll have a little bit of a breeze tomorrow as well through the canyons. Otherwise, very similar to this afternoon. If you like today, then you like tomorrow, I think. We go through the future scan, and you'll see some changes start on Thursday, though. A little bit of a disturbance rolling through east of us on Thursday will kick the winds up again. Friday is where the real change starts becoming visible into Saturday. This trough low pressure digging in big time into the eastern Pacific, and that's going to bring a very strong onshore flow. It's going to bring a storm system through on Saturday and into Sunday. The rain chances are going to increase big time Saturday and Sunday, especially late Saturday and early Sunday. Looks like the chance of rain is about 60% and some snow as well. For tonight, dry, cold, clear, canyons, winds of about 25, a little breezy there. And then the high desert's going to bottom out around 30 and top out tomorrow around 69. 74 for a high in Los Angeles tomorrow, which is what we had today. So look for a very similar afternoon. And then that 7-day forecast for LA Metro and Orange County. A breezy Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday, the 2 days, we're looking for the shower activity to kick back into gear, 64, 63 respectively. So another cool weekend ahead. Valleys, IE, a few beautiful days for you, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. Again, showers around, and that's going to last through Sunday, it looks like. In the beach area, fantastic if you're at the beach for tomorrow. Thursday, a lot of afternoon sunshine. Friday, a little bit of a more cloudy day, and some of that sea breeze kicking in, and then the weekend is looking like a few showers around. The mountains, snow dropping to 5,000 feet with that snow level for the weekend. Really good news for you. And then breezy, and a few showers for this weekend in the high desert, too. Back to you guys.
Jonathan, thank you. Dodgers made a lot of wholesale changes in the offseason in hopes to change their luck in the postseason. Rob Okazaki is at Dodgers spring training and gives us a peek at the new-look Dodgers.
Well, today's Dodgers spring training session began with the news that Andre Ethier told ESPN.com that if he's not an everyday player for the Dodgers, he would like to do so elsewhere. Besides that, a very productive day with a lot of new faces here at Camelback Ranch. The pop of the mitt and the crack of the bat.
Under the watchful eye of the brand new life-size Lasorda bobblehead, the boys in blue are back for another camp. And as always, spring means eternal hope to get to the top of the baseball mountain.
You're always refreshed by a new year. You're always re-energized. So definitely still have those thoughts of defeat, and especially in those playoff situations, never quite go away completely.
We also have a lot of new faces, new perspectives, different teams. It's going to be a different clubhouse. Hopefully a more positive clubhouse, and you know, we're always trying to get better.
Although full squad workouts don't officially start until Thursday, most position players are here getting in some early work in the cage. A lot of familiar faces and several new ones, like Yasmani Grandal, who goes from catching a good pitching staff in San Diego to an even better one.
I get to catch as many shutouts as I can. You know, it seems like we got 5 guys that can throw shutouts every day. So, you know, my main goal when I start a game is to call a shutout. So if I could get them through 9 innings without them allowing a run, I did my job.
Brandon McCarthy, who will be fighting for a spot in the loaded rotation, grew up in Pasadena, going to Dodger games.
It hasn't hit yet. It will, I think, opening day. When you get there, I mean, that's your introduction to baseball, was walking out onto the concourse of Dodger Stadium. It's the most green you've ever seen, and every baseball cliche you can think of kind of hit there in that stadium for me. So it was, the Dodgers were what I knew, and that was baseball to me for the first 7-8 years of my life.
There are already a lot of position players that have reported to training camp. Officially, full squad workouts begin on Thursday. Meantime, tomorrow we will visit Tempe, Arizona, and the Angels spring training camp. I'm Rob Fukuzaki, ABC7 Eyewitness News in Glendale, Arizona.
The city of Los Angeles is rolling out a new website of its historic landmarks, and it's not an easy task. There are thousands and thousands of structures in the online database, and all of it's going to help tourists and developers.
From City Hall to Los Angeles Central Library to the U.S. Bank Tower, Los Angeles is a treasure trove of historically significant places and architectural masterpieces. But there hasn't been an official centralized system to find them all until now.
Los Angeles, from its very birth, has been a city of rich cultural diversity and a city of constant social change. And much of that story is still visible in our built environment.
The Getty Conservation Institute and the City of Los Angeles worked together for a decade to compile the data for Historic Places LA. The website and mobile app let you find the sites closest to you and then tell you all about them. That includes buildings and sites of historical importance, architecturally significant buildings, historic districts, bridges, parks, gardens, and streetscapes.
Let's end the notion that LA is a city that doesn't value its history. Let's just put that to rest here today.
Of course, this program is great for tourists and people who just want to get to know their communities better, but it's also a great resource for developers, property owners, and students.
A modern one-stop shop for property owners in the real estate industry to quickly and easily understand whether or not properties are eligible for tax credits and other financial incentives that are related to their properties.
There's a lot of places around us, and in the iPhone and the telephone is good because you can go on it on the website and see a lot of different things.
And officials say the data on the website is about 75% complete, and they will continue to add to it.
Go check it out. Well, more news straight ahead here at 7:30.
And ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7, a man who beat a couple to death with a lead pipe will soon walk out of prison a free man. Tonight we hear from the couple's children who came face to face with him today. Plus, new reaction to the controversial comments about Zendaya's dreadlocks on the red carpet that has set off a social media firestorm. These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. Thanks for joining us on Eyewitness News at 7:30 on LA56. Law and Order SVU is next here on LA56.
And Eyewitness News continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7 and anytime on ABC7.com. And remember, you can get your news 24 hours a day by following us on Facebook and Twitter and by downloading our ABC7 app. We'll see you tomorrow night right here, 7 o'clock on LA56.
Have a great night.